Greetings, everybody. Yay. First love, second love, it's all love. Wow. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Yes, my work husband is in the clouds. I just figured it's 7 o'clock there in Hawaii, but he's still got like 8 hours to go because he left at 7 o'clock. No, that's 6 hours to go because he left at 7 o'clock. I think his time in the morning. Yeah. So it took a while to find out the time in Hawaii. So it's all complicated. But I do know that he's really, really jumping timelines. How cool is that for PG? So he did kind of pop into to boop us. Well, to boop me, I'm sure he'll be booped, maybe booped others. I've been obviously sending some love and images. And thank you for everybody. And just, let's just hold the space for him and for us. And I forgot a lighter, so I'm going to dash and run and get one. Which is, oh my goodness. I have to confess, I have been so tired today that I didn't know such tiredness could actually exist. But I'm feeling a little better now. But I did promise to pop in. And I'm kind of over so much stuff. I'm just trying to keep the hearth fires and just connecting with Mother Gaia. So I found out some awesome stuff today. So I wanted to share that as well. So let us just, because she was just going crazy. She was just going crazy. It's like a little, no, it's a little awesome. He's manifesting. He is materializing to quite a few people. But I'll share that just now, which is like not unusual for him to do that, but unusual for him to be in those situations. So anyway, just with love and light and an awakening of our beautiful, beautiful earth and protecting to love and to sing and to dance with our Blessed Mother. So we create the sacred space and bring in the energy of the Most High to bring in this Shiva energy and the Mother Goddess, because that's really what, and Ganesha, and I can go on and on, but that can't be what it's all about. So what's happening on the planet right now? Let us actually, I said a little while ago, and I got that really strong feeling to connect hugely with sacred earth magic, and just to really just maybe just come down to earth. I don't know what it's about. I mean, I do know what it's about, but I don't know what it's about. But just to really just focus on the simplicity of the trees and the beauty and keeping them protected and giving them energy, and they responded hugely. So I have a very beautiful discussion with Ganesha today. So really beautiful, because he also holds so much, and so whatever you see that energy, I'm just so grateful that I actually entertained Ganesha into my life. So I know that he is this keeper of the earth, and he goes forward. He's kind of got the machete in the forest, which is kind of a bad thing to have these days. But anyway, just that crazy news. I mean, I don't want to go into this whole cocaine thing, but did you know that Roundup, that crazy, terrible stuff, Roundup, was actually created to kill the cocaine fields, the cocaine plants in South America? And yes, those cocaine wars were insane. I was doing, oh my goodness, history of cocaine. Of course, it was synthesized in Germany, just up the road from me, like about an hour away, in this interesting little place. It was also one of the very first. I was in 1855 or something. Millie, my love, I'm so glad you're here. How are you doing, Millie? Hmm. I'm so glad you do, Kali. I'm just doing part Parvati right now. She doesn't have any weapons. She makes all these crazy goddesses, parts of herself, but she just has a blessing in her hand, and she has two lotuses, which I thought was really beautiful. So I did do a bit of research because I thought, I mean, we know that as Durga, she has like absolutely everything, and as Kali, she dances madly and wildly, and she gets into her Kali phase every now and again. Um, and then the earth shakes. But as I said, I like to read those stories in a way as like just things that happened. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll go into that another time. We have gone into it, but we'll go into it again. But the relationship between Shiva and Sati, which was his first love, and she exploded. She just like went into fire, and it absolutely broke his heart totally. That he went into meditation for 4.5 million years. So it was quite a long time of like my heart is broken. So I find it difficult to wait for a day. It's this double Aries crazy stuff. But yeah, so just while we are there, yeah, he did. If anybody's seen it, I don't know, but the very first Shiva Lingam is actually a space capsule. So it did definitely come from somewhere, and hugely is this. I think the whole thing of this energy of Shiva is to rescue of the whole Christos Sophia. Is the Sophia is Mother Nature, is the feminine energy. It is the feminine, and it's not about having a whole new feminine race. We've done that one before, but it's obviously a symbiotic thing. But it's hugely about just caring for the earth and just pouring and just allowing whatever comes up for you in every single breath you take, um, and to encourage your children and those that are going out to study, to share some of the wonders that you have of nature, of food, of breath, just to connect with earth. Yeah, all the creation stories, they're all real. We've been through that. Sorry, I'm just like trying to move somewhere not out of those. I mean, I'm really in them because they are me. And I've known them in a way for a long time. It's just that AI is amazing at the moment. On some level, AI is absolutely fantastic because it's just pouring out so much knowledge, um, that it's almost like a war of truth, which is this truth wave, an absolute truth wave. Yeah, yeah. That's why we're here. We go to truth wave for our our blue energy and love, and Victor Truth Wave is just taking a whole new journey for me right now. And our beautiful family and the unity that it's just, yeah. Sorry, I'm very tired, so it's okay. I'm bumbling over my words for a while, but it's fine. I'm just doing what I can do, so which is fine. Yeah, we're very blessed to have this beautiful community. So I hope everybody's shaping up reasonably well, not being too tired and overwhelmed. I'll talk about that just now. It's so like, okay, I'll talk about it now, otherwise I'll forget. I've spoken about it before when I do that water pouring on the earth, is that we want to be very careful of how we word it, that we want positive words. And I was just thinking of, obviously going to put one and one together. I was just like, don't forget me. And I thought, no, I don't want to say that because this is what we're talking about. It's not don't forget me. It's actually remember me. Yeah. So it gives a whole completely different energy. So when we're saying we don't want poverty, we're rather saying we want food for everybody. Now, we don't want the trees cut down, we want the forests to flourish and the seeds to, that's what I'm going to talk about tonight, which is like, ha, interesting. So anyway, let's just start with a beautiful invocation. Yeah, Ganesha, Ganesha, Ganesha. Spontaneous songs just arise. Spontaneous mixed up mantras and spontaneous delicious forms of just gratitude for so much. Sometimes can't even tell with what, just gratitude. So an invocation to the protector of Mother Earth, the beloved feminine. O great mother of the emerald heart, O guardian of the living breath, you who move as wind, as wave, as root and flame, we call to you in reverence and radiant love. Beloved feminine, protector of the earth, your hands weave the golden threads of dawn. Your tears are the rivers that cleanse the soul of the world. You cradle the oceans in your palms and whisper songs of remembrance to the mountains. From your laughter springs new life. From your silence comes the power of renewal. Every seed remembers your name. Every creature feels your gaze of mercy. Enfold us now in your cloak of green fire. Let our hearts pulse with your rhythm, steady, ancient, unbroken. May we be your voice, your eyes, your living prayer. Where there is destruction, plant beauty. Where there is greed, pour compassion. Where there is fear, awaken wisdom. Through us, may your sacred balance be restored. O great Mother of the infinite becoming, we rise as your children of light. We vow to guard your forests, your rivers, your sky, to breathe with you, to love with you, to protect you as you protect us. Om Shakti Ma GAIA Devi Namaha. Om Shakti Ma GAIA Devi Namaha. Om Shakti Ma GAIA Devi Namaha. All praise to the divine feminine, guardian of creation, keeper of love. Grace, beautiful. Did I see Grace somewhere? Grace. I'm feeling you every now and again. So just like Millie, just try pop in. Because I've felt you like before, but I've really got Grace around every now and again. And I really feel her. And thank you. I need that. And I think we all need that. So these things are getting very real, and we're just moving into a whole new energy, and it's just take it, guys. It's like doorway after doorway. It's not just opening, and it can be quite exhausting, but we definitely, doesn't have to be. We are definitely in a whole new energy, a whole new turning, a whole new plan for the next few years of Mother Gaia. So I think carefully where you want to put your energy, and what you want to be the main focus of your energy. So some interesting things. I didn't know that this was actually right now this very big. Let's see if I've got it here. Ta-da. Oh, maybe I don't have it here. Do I have it here? It is a snake festival. Another festival at the moment. It was yesterday or the day before in some parts of India, maybe the south. Grace sent me, I mean, this stuff is just like jumping out so much. By Praveen Mohan, I actually love his work. I've been following him for quite a long time. He's one of my great inspirations and teachers. He goes around the temples. Started in Peru, but he mainly goes around the temples in India now. In Thailand. Thailand, he's actually doing a whole thing in Thailand right now since they're even older. But yeah, he's very interesting. Of the whole thing of the serpent kings in India. And let's not forget that beloved Ganesha is very sacred to the serpents, because I can't remember his name, but he has the serpent around his neck, except when he's dancing, then he has it around his arms. I just like to put a spanner in the in the stories and let him create like other magic instead of the dance of destruction. Yeah, he's interesting. So Nagula Chaturthi, also called Naga Chaturthi in some regions, is a deeply revered Hindu festival devoted to the Nagas, the sacred serpent beings who are considered protectors of water, fertility, and life itself. It's illegal to kill a snake in India. There's a law, you're not allowed to do it. And there are forests that are they're very old forests, nobody really goes into them. And that's, they say, where the Nagas, the original Nagas live under the ground. And just like snakes, and I'm not sure which ones, I'm sure we can do it, look into that. But there are definitely two kinds of snakes. Some had arms in their skeleton, like with whales. They, once upon a time, they had legs, and others don't. Some snakes give birth to life. They give birth, others lay eggs. So they're really kind of quite crazy. And the more that I look at cats, I am just, especially like, is it tabby cats? Those kind of, yeah. They are that snake skin, guys, and the way they move. I mean, that's just like I can't stop seeing it. So it was definitely for me some. I mean, I don't think that every Egyptian wanted to have a snake in their home, but they were deeply reverent, had deep reverence to the cats. So they shaved their eyebrows when their cats were died. So they did some kind of mutation so that they had legs and fur, but that skin, yeah, that fur, those patterns on the fur, and especially when they wriggle, the cats, and don't forget their eyes, yeah. But they are just so awesome. I'm definitely a cat lady. I don't have cats. I miss cats. I do miss them. I miss a garden. Okay, so the festival always falls. Oh, it's between. We don't know. There's crazy names. Between round about October or November. It coincides usually between the monsoon and early winter, a time symbolically linked to renewal, balance, cleansing, and obviously purification of the elements. I'm just going to throw things in here like Shiva. That's where I had my first like big connection with Shiva, was with the Om Mani Padme, no, the Namah Shivaya, which actually stands for the 5 elements, and that was not that long, a couple of years ago, about 18 months ago or so, that I thought, we're saying this, and it's like the 5 elements. So what is going on here? Because Shiva holds the 5 elements, which are the building blocks of all creation. Just a few things he holds. Okay, so the spiritual significance of the Nagas represent Kundalini energy, the coiled life force at the base of the spine. Honoring them is symbolic of awakening inner wisdom, grounding vitality, and harmonizing with the life currents that flow through all creation. It is the awakening of the Shakti power. It's the awakening of the feminine, the awakening of the caring, but we do need both. You know? So in the cosmology, in the history of the Hindu stuff, is that there was this, it was very male oriented, and there were great wars and um, negative elements, whether we want to call them the giants or the Anunnaki or whichever ones you want to call them, that ruled the earth, and there was no feminine principle. During the time of Shiva's meditation and his grief between Shakti and his union then with Parvati, which was again just also interesting. They had to really wake him up hard. Yeah. So, but as I said, what this it's for me is hugely, and I've done a lot of the Sophia wisdom stuff, and the Christ consciousness, the Christos Sophia was very big for me for many years. All this like crazy knowledge, and upending it, and kind of, and obviously personal stuff. I really kind of destroyed a lot of that. It really hurt that badly. It's amazing how we can get so hurt as human beings. But it's just our life path. Yeah, lots of scars to get to this place. So they anyway, back to the Nagas. So it's embracing and loving the earth, loving the mother. She is this whole incredible real being. And sadly, I think it was only in the 80s that it wasn't before, could have been later, that they decided that Gaia was actually a living being, that she was alive. Yeah. So if you've got any kind of thoughts and meditations to do, is to really just tune in more and more to the life force of Gaia. It's hugely up to us. So honoring them symbolizes the awakening inner wisdom, grounding vitality, and harmonizing with the life currents that flow through all creation. In the outer world, snakes are guardians of rivers, lakes, wells, and fertility of the earth. Worshipping them brings the blessing of prosperity, rain, and protection from unseen dangers. Milk, turmeric, and sandalwood paste are offered to anthills, serpent stones, or shrines dedicated to the Nagas. Devotees often fast during the day and perform puja near water sources at dawn or dusk. Special prayers are chanted for the well-being of the family, fertility, and the protection of children. In South India, they also, I'm going to go into among the law. Okay. Especially in South India, the British didn't get to South India as much as they did to North, so there are far more temples in the South. It's not that there weren't temples in the North. They were just like demolished and abolished and ransacked, and but families worship the Naga Devata along hugely with Lord Shiva and Parvati, as serpents are sacred to Shiva. Nagula Chaturthi reminds devotees of the interconnectedness of all beings. It teaches reverence for the natural world, balance between the five elements, and gratitude to the serpent guardians who silently sustain life's flow beneath the surface. Something that's also just coming up for me so much, they're under the ground. I said whenever and they're not snakes here, but every time I see there are holes in the ground, and every time I see one, I just think, wow, very interesting, Millie. Yeah. So, and that was when Shiva, It's quite interesting. Very often when Shiva opens his third eye, because it is Shiva, that's why he has these then Shiva is the holder of the third eye. Yeah. Um, yeah, lots of third eye going stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And just travel on that and if you can, just like when you like lying in bed as often as you can, just take your focus up to that third eye. So it is hugely that beautiful awakening, and that is Shiva's domain. It's not the Shakti power. He is the third eye. As I said, that's why there's three lines and then the line down the center. And it's before I forget, I'll do this thing. So I didn't do the Hopi thing. It's like a whole big mission where people, and apparently you're not allowed to go to Hopi land without a guide. So, we've got the three goddesses in the house. Grace, thank you. Grace, Millie, and me. Awesome. But Shiva actually manifested not as an image, as in reality. So I thought that was like extraordinarily interesting. That was on Saturday. So we just had the update yesterday. So, and it was so interesting that also like a while ago, I don't know when they added him to that lineage, but obviously he's there. And he is hugely this guardian of the earth. He's just so amazing. And if I'm jumping around, I'm sorry, but it's just I'm just trying to think if it was Parvati. No, it was Sati when she first, because they both had dreams. I had dreams. For me, my love was always like this Christ consciousness. That was my vision, my focus. And she was Sati's the bull Nandi kind of found her, and she thought, well, she's going to get like trampled over, and then he recognized her as the divine incarnation of the divine mother of Durga, who is the holy. She's the Mother Earth. She's the mother of creation. Okay, the primal force. And when he took her off to Kailash, to the mountains, she was really terrified because there were just so many snakes and monsters and beings, and from the first creations, they weren't always so wonderful. That's why I love this Hindu stuff. Is that it's quite okay. There's none of this like perfection of creation, this whole like myth that we've been led to believe, which like makes us feel imperfect. So these people have like real feelings. There's fights, like battles that go on in the heavenly realms. And she was really like, and these are the Nagas. These are Shiva's buddies. He's like completely wild and untamed. A lot of like the gods get like frustrated with him because he doesn't follow order or discipline. He doesn't come dressed up in a suit. He comes with crazy wild dreadlocks. He can't he can scrub up well though when he has to, but he associates with the outcasts of society. He associates in the cremation grounds is where he is very often, where nobody goes, so it's kind of where people go. So, what was I saying? Was Sati, yeah, and then she went into the cave. He said, no, don't be afraid, because amongst all of there's these incredible beings that are meditating and just jumping in. There was just a few years ago, not that long ago, there was a Russian scientist who went to one of the virtually the only most people that go to Mount Kailash, they die. You're not allowed to go to Mount Kailash. It's just like I don't know if it's a law that it's written, but it's not, and people still don't know because it's like way too like pyramidy. whether it's actually a well, let's just say it's a pyramid. Yeah? These pyramids everywhere. And he went in and apparently saw all these people in deep meditation. I mean, they've been there for hundreds of years meditating. That's fine. Just go. Glad you're here. I know. There's so much. I love that, Millie. It's just so amazing. It's like definitely it's different. It's so many different energies, and so many, if you want to call them promotions or jumping up, and just knowing that things are held at the bottom and trusting. Yeah, like I'm just so grateful to Millie and to both of you, to Millie, for knowing that she's holding hugely that Shakti, the Shakti energy, obviously. It's very dark, so just like in the south, it's also in the south of India, in Bengal. I mean, what's it? Calcutta. Calcutta is named after Kali. Yeah? She was one of the first manifestations of the primordial goddess, because for a lot of people life was tough before these beings came down and told them how to do medicine and how to farm, and so life was very tough. And down south they worship her very wildly. A lot of drum beats. They do offer blood sacrifices to her. And when I was listening and looking at this, and I thought, people say, well, this is what people classify them as savages. And I thought, when they were doing this, I thought, but it's so sacred, and there's absolutely exactly the same process that they do when they slaughter a cow or a sheep or a goat in the Jewish tradition. It's taken to the priest, and he slits the throat, and they collect the blood. So where's the difference? Where's the savageness? And then they take the blood and they will pour it over Kali statues, or they will pour it in sacred symbols upon the earth. So so it is very dark. It can be. Well, we call it dark. It's not dark. It just is. It's the same as women. Women have menstruation and they have crazy feelings. But the big thing for me is hugely that somewhere what's gone is the plants. Right, that's nothing for today. Is hugely for a little while, a couple of days. That's right now. For a long time. But even more so is that especially the narcotic herbs, the opiums, they've always been around and they've always been incredibly sacred. They found, even with Neolithic man, they found poppies sacred to the goddess. So they were tripping out there anyway. They called that the joy plant, the joy plant. But as I said, just sort of quickly off the top of my head the other day, because tobacco is sacred to the Hopi and it's sacred to all Native Americans and to our Africans as well, the tobacco, which smells amazing and it chases all sorts of negative elementals away. And many tribes, many people are smoking. We make fun of it, smoke on peace pipe, but it's a sacred combination of herbs. But we see what happened to the world when the West got hold of it. The same as what happened to opium when the West got hold of it. Same as what happened to cocaine when the West got hold of it. I'm sure the same, just like same as what's happened to marijuana when, Europe. I was looking at a map the other day and I was just thinking, how ridiculously small is Europe, which kind of like sets the tone. Oh, please, thank you. I'm so glad. Yeah. Oh, well done, Grace. That's a big thing. And you're going away for 3 months, so that's like a lot of preparation. At least you don't have to water your plants in the desert. Shame, what happens to your garden? Does somebody come and fix it? Hmm. So, back to my trees. So I said the other day, I don't know if you were here, that they had put into AI a whole crow speak, crow sounds. Um, and they've actually managed to come up with a language, sort of like the Rosetta Stone, and how they talk about people, which is really interesting. And I just thought, I was so excited about this. I thought, it's going to be interesting. They're going to do this with so many animals. So we're going to be really, through AI, on a fabulous level, to be able to understand like lion speak and all sorts of speak. You know? And I've said there were 2 books in my life I could have like stopped there that I really changed my life and set me on these paths. The one was The Secret Life of Plants, and the other was Magical Child. The Secret Life of Plants was totally amazing, and it was all about like in the 50s that the Russians were doing these amazing experiments with plants, and that plants could read your mind, and they did all these like lab tests, and that's where they came up with that plants feel pain, and they would do things like burn them with cigarette leaves or cut leaves, and they would recognize people that came into the room. They were working with them as lie detectors because they could read your thoughts. There was, and I don't know if it was in that book, there was so much in there, but on Easter Island, that when they, so, but if, and yeah, they go into shock, and they cry, and they're in so much pain. But yeah, we know all of that, and we can feel all of that. You know, if a forest has been cut down or something, you can really feel that like absolute annihilation, and you can feel the pain. I do that when I walk past how they cut down trees a lot, and then they have piles, and I can really feel it. It really hurts, and it's so beautiful. I hum to them. I also see it sometimes as like, oh, these are going to be tomorrow's pencils for the kids or something. But I just hum a lullaby where there's been like devastation to the earth. And we don't have too much of it where I'm here, but they still cut the trees down, and it's still very hurtful. So what they also discovered, and I've used that for years, is that if you talk to a plant and you tell them that you're going to trim them or you're going to cut them down, they will actually anesthetize themselves, and they just, so then you can cut them down and they don't get such a shock. I always like that with feng shui, and you see that in feng shui, how like if you cut down the trees, especially in certain areas, it will affect certain areas of your home, of your life. So for me, it was always to appease, especially if you're working with the dragon energy, with the tiger energy, who doesn't like to be moved, and is to always give plants back. So if you're cutting back, then always like nurture or put compost. But anyway, when they wanted a boat in the Easter Islands. Mhm. Oh wow! Oh, Grace, that is so beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Well, they were called the little wee arts, and a lot of them are like really. Millie, you must have a look. I did post it somewhere, but there's like such a big turn going on where people are like not doing their gardens as they used to be with the grass. So they're turning them into living gardens, food gardens and herb gardens, and allowing the natural grasses to take over, which brings in the butterflies. Yeah, it's so beautiful place. Wow, very special, very special people. Yeah, but the guys in Easter Island, they when they needed a boat or a totem pole, and I'm sure that this goes across a lot of these the cultures, that they would go every day. They would pick a tree. It's like they pick an animal that's going to like give them food. It's not just this willy nilly kill whatever. So they would go up to the tree every day, and they would do ceremony around it and tell it that it's going to be made into a boat. And after a few weeks, the tree literally just falls down. Clunk. So they don't have to kill it. You don't have to chop it down. It'll just literally fall down. So this is where we're wanting to go to. Now, the exciting thing, so what AI has done now is, so just gave you that little preamble. So sadly for me, and because it's so much, one just feels so jaded sometimes with the whales and the dolphins and the sea and the forests and this and Greenpeace were a lot of crazy tree huggers. They now like got like battleships with AK-47s. Okay. Yeah, but you'll find, I mean, they can be just like places, but yeah, I mean, you're on the right track. You don't need to like, no, and plant veggies, if you can. Awesome. Get the girls involved, or pay somebody to plant veggies. It's also fun. What was I thinking? Saying? Okay, yeah. So one gets a bit jaded because, when you go back, you think, well, so much of this knowledge was known so long ago, and nothing's really been done with it. No, what are the cocoa pelly, Grace? I want to know what cocoa pelly is. Related to pelicans? Don't know what cocoa pelly is. So, I mean, I think many people knew that plants like felt, but they were always up for ridicule, or if you talk to your plants, etc., etc., etc. But what AI has done now is it has from a ultrasound level, it has fed sounds. I mean, you've heard the mushroom music and tree music. It's like quite amazing. So they have obviously these electric currents, and we know about the Wood Wide Web, which is communication, and how they will actually send particular nutrients off to other plants. But this is now taking to plants, to baby plants, and it's like these big mother trees look after them, but they look after other trees as well. But what they've now, with putting this ultrasound into computers and having AI analyze it, is really interesting. Like, it's not a peaceful world out there. It's like a war zone with the trees, which is really, really exciting. So it's like Mother Nature is starting to fight back. This is just like kind of gloomy a little bit. It's like really exciting. And first they discovered that like if there's a oh, is that her? Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Everybody knows that, but nobody's like acknowledged the Hopi. I was actually crying about that figure the other day because everybody knows about that, but nobody cares about the Hopi. And in France, they use that. It's huge. They use it as a big marketing. Many restaurants and bars have that symbol of that the flute player. But that's just another thing of just like take, greed, greed, greed. And they're starving. They really are starving. And people are, anyway. So these are the things that I want to see changing, which would make my heart happy. But nature is fighting back. So they first kind of discovered this. Well, I mean, this I know, like this was even before the World Wide Web, that they communicated, like they would communicate with each other. And like if giraffes are coming along the way, then the trees would actually secrete really very, very bitter substances at the top of in their leaves, so that the giraffes wouldn't eat the top leaves. They could eat the bottom leaves, but not those leaves that are going off. And just to really tune into it even more, Millie. Thank you for being a keeper. Yeah, and like go know a little more about the Hopi as well and what they stand for. And it's in your territory there. Just embrace it. Embrace it more. Yeah. We need to know what we need to be keepers. We need to be earth guardians as well. Guardians are the things to be. Yeah, that's where we are. And some of us can't do it. Most southwestern recognize them as. Yeah. Oh, they all do music. I think almost all of them do music or didgeridoos. Everybody's playing something through the wind. Okay, so they found that there were trees, like, so if there's like an oak forest and then there's like another tree, they will actually emit like poison substances, toxic to their tree under the earth. So this is where we're going with, we all like gone through that, I hope, of companion gardening. So like, what was it? Tomatoes like basil. Um, but if you like, I'm not sure, I'm just saying this off the top of my head. But if you plant carrots with tomatoes, the one doesn't grow. Sometimes we can see it as logical, they're competing for the same things. If you put parsley amongst your roses, your rose that I can know for sure, roses absolutely blossom. Mm, thanks. I must have a look. I must have a look at that. The cocoa penny. I have no pen. I think I can read out. The eyes are really sad at the moment. So what they've discovered now is that as I said, there's like this crazy war going on right now. Is that plants are actually starting to emit, and like the forests, they've had enough, and especially companion gardening. Yeah. But I'm like thinking, okay, it's not just the nutrients, it's something a little bit deeper than that as well. Okay. So tune into it. Oh, I still love that. Tune into it, meditate on it, just be still with it. Because right now, as I said, war. So with all the what they're doing with the ozone, what they're doing with the tree, the thingies, the airplanes, crisscross skies, and all those toxins that they're putting into the sky, the trees are fighting back and they are actually starting to create chemicals. They're mutating. I mean, I told you about the rosemary, so it just makes so much sense for me. So they are manufacturing a whole pile of chemicals that are actually counteracting the effects, starting to counteract the effects of this. I mean, is that not just absolutely fabulous and amazing? So they were just saying also, I mean, that they've had enough with humanity. So that's also partly why. So, I mean, more people are getting allergies, especially, you know, they're emitting different chemicals into the air. So it's like, I would like want to go down this road a little more, because I think this is for me like really exciting. Did anybody read, what was it called? Tree. It was by Tolkien, with Treebeard, with the trees, the walking trees, the walking forests. Um, Greenleaf, I can't remember it right now. It was very long ago. I read those when I was like 13, 14. I know I read Lord of the Rings when I was 13. Had to read it again because you don't understand it. Sometimes when you're young and you're like really intelligent or whatever, you can read the words, but you don't. It's like everything, you don't understand. That is just so amazing. It's just like 100,000 million blue dots when I rub my eyes. Like that. So that was really all I wanted to just like pop in today to say, was to continue loving the earth. And the more that you love her or pour your things or talk to her, I mean, she's just talking back in so many beautiful ways. And if we just stop and listen, when she sings, the birds will sing us songs, and the trees, the trees, the trees. We did a spell a little while ago to protect the trees, because it was over 40% of the trees in one of our forests had died. It was from bugs and things. So just pour lots and lots of energy into the trees and into Mother Gaia and into the soul. Did I mention that as well? I was just thinking, it's like I was talking to a local guy, and he said there weren't very many mushrooms after Chernobyl. The people used to go out and collect basketfuls, and Chernobyl was in the 80s, and it was very far away from here. But it obviously affected the mushroom population. And he said it's only this year, last year, that they've started to come back. He said, yeah, you always got like the flower mushrooms, the magic mushrooms, but the stone mushrooms, the edible mushrooms, they don't really, they kind of disappeared for, wow, it's like 40 years. It took the earth to regenerate from the Chernobyl stuff. So other than that, I'm trying not to have a look what's out there. I'm trying to just put my weapons aside and just just be homely right now. It just feels the right thing to do, and just to try to keep my space sacred and deal with this tiredness. So I'm going to go and sleep now, because I do have these strange hours, because America's got a very different time zone to me. So I have another workshop at 2 o'clock in the morning again. So I'm going to go to sleep now. And hopefully we can connect on a Zoom tomorrow. But the last 2 weeks, and let's just, I always wanted to, and what was that as well? Oh yeah, and working with structure and so many things happening. But we've been talking, and that was just, I was just doing a meditation on, because I've been doing it myself, like, but then I've like just did a meditation on restructuring our DNA, but working quite specifically with the 12 strands. But actually you're working with the power centers. Remember this body that we have, and we created all of this. And I went down this thing, it was like intense. This was like just so much beautiful work that we've absolutely done in the last few months. So it's just like awakening, or just breathing into each of these magnificent color centers and working and activating our kundalini, our light centers, and clearing them and getting them to spin. And I think there's many who, well, it doesn't matter. Just do this very quick meditation up and down your spine. It's the same story, keeping those channels open, because that is hugely it's activating our DNA as well. I've been doing for a long time where I actually think of all the billions of little cells in my body, and they're all like really, they're very greedy, and they're all golden. So there's billions of little golden stars in my being, and I just keep them open to absorbing. But working with the light body, she was actually saying that the macabre is like over. We're working with the light body now, which is the rainbow body. So, but it's also our rainbow vessel. So, I've been pushing the rainbow body for a long, long, long time, and obviously the blessed waters of Mother Gaia. There was something else I wanted to just work with. And of course, beautiful that we have Ganesha, who is also the awakener and the protector of the Kundalini energy. Oh, that's what I wanted to show you. It was a vision I had for quite a while, but it was a vision I had, I think, at the beginning of last year, beginning of this year, end of last year, yeah, which was as the Mother Mary, and Shiva just coming through, and it's like really what on his bull with his hair, lots and lots of roses. It was a very, very Mother Mary type Catholic image for me, but it was this. I've had Shiva like come a few times for me. I haven't had him manifest in proper reality, as in that I can touch him, but he's been around quite a bit. Yeah. So that's like quite a while. 18 months ago. I don't know. 18 months ago. I don't know. It was very, 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 very powerful. And that's what kind of keeps me going. And he holds all the things within him. He has his beautiful Nandi bull, and he always has the sacred crescent, which is the moon, which is femininity, so which he stands for. His sacred heart, obviously, he has three bodies, and this is what these gods, these things we worship, these male images that we worship, are here to rescue the mother. So, and to awaken her, and to love her, and to nurture her, and to hopefully make sure that she doesn't have to turn into Kali too often. Yeah. Yeah, that's sacred to me. That's very, 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 very sacred to me. But of course, Ganesha has to show up for me. This is Shiva's hair, but that's another story. He holds the whole cosmos in his hair. I'm just sitting with these ones for now. And also, whenever Shiva goes away, when he's like a lot of the stories don't tell us, but a lot do. But like when he goes away and he comes back and he like chopped off poor old Ganesha. He goes off meditating. He's like he's not going off on a wild hunt somewhere. He goes into the caves to meditate and to be still. Jesus also did that, I'm sure. He would also go away for a while and meditate to fill himself up, because they're giving so much all the time. So thank you, blessed soul, blessed ladies. Thank you for holding what you're doing. Connect with me if you need. I'll happily jump into my kitchen space. If you hear me, say hi. Sometimes I do just pull us all together, but maybe you're not hearing, and that's okay. So just be open to it. It's a very, very beautiful space when you're really just connecting. I'm sure, Millie, you must have it with your daughters as well, with your kids. We do it very often with our kids, or our kids will get sick, or we'll get sick, and we'll know, you know how you know that they're sick and all that stuff. But it can be really on a much more interesting level. Yeah, it's like it's so deeply, deeply intimate, but it's got nothing to do with like the intimacy. It's like a whole new feeling. Your dream ladies, I did. I saw the dream weavers, Grace. I did see, but I don't know if you've posted. I did comment. They were beautiful. I will have a look and see if you posted anything. Your work it's just so beautiful what you're holding right now. So you're such a beautiful, really been blessed to hold that. Let me just see if I can see. Oh no, I didn't see these ones. Oh, the deep. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, it's important. Thanks, Grace. Thank you. Yes. Deep shot. Absolutely. Yeah. So you see, I love it. I love it, Grace. I mean, it's just, this is, we have to work together. Yeah, I see now, but I'm here. I'm on my phone. You've got the deep chakra here, which is exactly what I was just, we really need to work with that breathing, and they're beautiful because that is awakening our DNA, whether we know it or not, and just like obviously healing with Mother Gaia again and keeping her. Thank you, Grace. We're definitely in the same space. Our blessed sacred heart. Yeah. Yeah, that's the focus that I'm having right now is um, yeah, just pouring, and that's like doing what I did for, in a way, like I would just like pour my heart out into Mother Gaia, and all over. It's, yeah, it can be exhausting. Yeah, it's like just pouring love. Then I was lucky enough to get my Lotus, so I can like drive around, fly around on my Lotus. I just kind of got some confirmation from the Hindus for what I'm doing. Well, not really, because I'm doing it kind of completely unique. And it comes from, I mean, yeah, just pouring. It was like, well, you can like imprison me here. You can do what you like, but you can't stop my heart. You can't stop my heart from pouring out love. And I know that I shifted the world. I know I stopped the world. I know I called in the space people in 2017, 2019. These other guys have taken this sweet merry bloody time to get here. Yeah, I know I've done a lot, and it's only just because of love. It's just love. It's just love, and it's just the vibration of love. And yeah, trauma can push you that. Yeah, the earth chakras, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, because that's the in a way the this has got nothing to do with the chakras. I mean, it has, but it has got nothing. As I've said, it's like that it's that electromagnetic combination. So and it's the earth too. You know, that's why we need to put so much beautiful energy into the earth as much as we can, and just to elevate the earth, to elevate ourselves, to be these amazing like light beings on the planet. Because each, every single one of us are shifting that balance. So if you don't know what to do with your life, just stand and glow as much as you can, as often as you can. And that's, the rest is a bonus. Um, yeah, yeah. And yeah, I mean, never, ever, ever, ever before these things took generations to, lifetimes to get through. But that's also, we're not doing this lifetime again. So choose what you're doing well in this lifetime, whichever way you're going. I don't know if you're going to do this lifetime again. And it's just such a privilege to be a candle. It's hard. It's hard. Some of us are in really hard places, and it just takes so much energy to be a shining candle. But maybe we're in that space. And I don't know, Grace has said you're going to hold 3 continents. Where are you going? You're going to Australia, you're holding America. I don't know where else you're holding. I don't know, I've given up how much I hold. That's why I just want to go and cook now and eat and just hold lotuses in my hand. And yeah, just moving into a whole new body right now, which is just wonderful. Yes. My waking dream space. So thank you for holding the chakras. There's lots more weaving. Okay. I'm not sure why you hold Europe, but thank you for holding Europe. I need help here. This whole CERN thing is like crazy stuff, man. Yeah, Europe is very hard, very, very complicated. So arrogant. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. There's like lots of people waking up for whatever reason. They're waking up. What interruptions? All good. Just for the fact that there's this amazing thing going on outside, and NASA's just closing up everything. So that's why. But then maybe people, yeah, in the gallery, really. Europe is, thank you. Europe is like, it's like, I just, it's like it's got this like metal canopy over it. It's very, very, very hard. But hey, we're doing it, so forgive me for being like totally exhausted sometimes. Yeah, and that's why I do this like deep digging away and trying to find what happened here and why it happened, and why it's so harsh and why they're so clever and so stupid at the same time, and that arrogance, and why they don't share their knowledge. And then obviously from Europe they went out. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Huh. Oh wow, Millie. Tough. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's Kali stuff. Blood. The pain I've been having there, okay. I can hardly move. Could hardly move this morning. Felt like my whole body's been like poisoned. But I'm just drinking water. I'm going to go and do a wonderful Parvati bath. Put Ganesha outside to protect my space. Yeah, I've come to I need to take my little boy for a walk now and see what Mother Gaia has to whisper in my ear. So yeah, it's really because our DNA is really talking. Okay, yeah, stretching is a good one. Because our DNA is not whispering to us anymore, it's really shouting and it wants to be changed. So doing the colors and working with your chakras to open up those like energy fields, and water. Yeah. That's why it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to have all this body stuff at the same time. And our thoughts, and that's just like so important that we just keep changing our thoughts or how we're saying things. Just like just shift them. I used to teach how many ways can you tell somebody to fuck off. It's like, can we reschedule? It takes like a split second to think about changing your vocabulary. And obviously, we're getting better and better and better. Where's Josh? How's Josh? We're worrying about Josh. So hope he's okay because he didn't do thingy. So I'm going to love and laugh. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes it just gets ripped out of you. So, Millie, my love, be grounded, everybody. It's you're coming into your power. So, women in the West suffer from it because we're not acknowledged as old women, as wise women. The old cultures don't have a problem, not as big a problem. Obviously, some do, but not as big a problem as we do. Yeah. So I love you all. So many blessings. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for holding this space. Thank you for holding your space. Thank you for being you, for being true to you, for walking your path, for changing your path, for taking on the different roles, sometimes for just pivoting all the time, because there's no blueprint for this right now. We are creating the blueprint. So love you all. Thank you so much. And I will see you tomorrow. And have the most beautiful, wonderful morning. Daytime, afternoon, nighttime. Yeah, it's important to embrace it. But working with the Kundalini is very good because it's working with it automatically when you start to menopause. Yeah. So when you actually start working with it, it's even better on the truth. So enjoy the ride. Yeah. Love you so much, girls. Eat, cook, be merry. Love. Thank you. Bye.